Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Steve again, coming to you with another video. Like it or not, I'm still going to be here. I'm still here. Just got back from the lake. Had a problem. I lost my plug in my boat, and that was an adventure. But anyway, I'm back home, and I have to ask, what the hell happened in Zavalla, Texas? Right smack dab in the middle of Angelina County. I don't know. I know that there are a lot of the public who are not just asking questions, but demanding answers. And the reason why that people are starting demanding answers is because the fact is that we hear the same old BS all the time. Now, before we get started, I want to say I apologize for my language if it gets out of hand, or if I say something that you guys it's not Christian, or if your Christian beliefs or whatever. Guys, I'm a Marine. I've been in the service. I was in the service for 9.5 years. Okay, that's just the way we talk. Okay, that is a line of communication that we utilize. Every word that we use is used to state the obvious, of course. Let our troops know the sensitivity of the issue, and also get a lot of fire in their ass. And good, bad, and different. That's just the way of life. So I apologize for my language, but I don't ever apologize for being a Marine. Never. Now, I don't know what has happened in Zavalla. I don't live in Zavalla. However, I do know that Zavalla has had issues with their water issue. I called TDEC to check on the latest water samples. The quality of the water has gotten better, has gotten worse. I'm still waiting on that, but I am inquiring. Because little do we know, or maybe some of you are unaware, that the oil sand that we use on our roads washes off into our drainage and ends up in our drinking water. Now, I don't know all of the elements of oil sand. I don't know. However, I do know that if you put oil and water, they don't mix, and it's not a good thing. So this was the preface of the fall, I guess, of the government in Zavalla. Now, the truth be told, I think I said this in my other video, the truth be told is that Zavalla didn't take care of their infrastructure. They did not replace a well that was old, outdated. Matter of fact, there was only 6 people in the United States when they inquired on fixing this pump. And there's only 6 people in the United States that actually are still able to fix this pump. That's how old it is. So with that being said, it seems like there's a lot of issues that are going on in the city of Zavalla that we don't see behind the scenes. And the reason why I'm saying is because the fact is that everybody knows that if you're in Huntington or Angelina County, everybody knows that all this stuff everybody talks about everything except when they're actually being quoted. They're actually being held accountable for their actions or what they have said, whether they're telling the truth, whether they're not telling the truth. And I'm sorry that our county officials and city officials don't understand that that precedent that we have set, that we see in a democracy. You deserve answers. You deserve answers just because the fact is that you are a citizen of the United States and a citizen of Texas. You pay your taxes. You have a right to know where your money is going and what it's used for. And you have a right to see the production and actually what they actually did and what they didn't do. I'm sorry, but that's individual rights across the United States and supposedly in the state of Texas too. But we have the good old boy network who suppress information, and we have the good old boy network who utilizes their power or their name to gaslight, call out other individuals just because they don't like what they say, just because they don't like them questioning decisions, just because they don't like your family, they don't like you, they didn't like your father, they didn't like your grandfather, they don't like your kids, they don't like everything. I know this because the fact is that I was at this has been a while back, but anyway, I was at a game. I went to the football game, and I went to see Huntsville play. Huntington play. Um, and I heard, and I just was there by myself and just watching a ball game. And I love football. I love baseball. So I was sitting there watching a ball game, and I heard. I just sit there and listen to people that are around me, and the things that were said. Well, his daddy is so and so. He's been that way. He ain't never gonna grow up to be nothing. He's gonna be just like his daddy. And to hear these individuals talk not only about the players that are on the field, but their whole family, they would run down. This is Angelina County. Everybody. And we live in an older community, and mostly a retirement community here in Huntington and Zavalla, places that are close to the lake, basically. Individuals dream of actually retiring and living on the lake, going fishing, enjoying water sports, and just being out on the lake or going swimming. And that's all well and fine. That's what we're here for. That's why the attraction is here. But the thing about that is that old people, they old people have been around for a while. I keep saying old people. I'm old too, 61. I keep saying old people, but I'm saying these individuals, basically being the old, they've earned the right to bitch. They've seen a thing or two. Like at State Farm, well, we've seen a thing or two, and they have, and they bring it to the attention of individuals. Look, they tried this back in 1962, and here's what happened, and blah blah blah, and they have a very valid point. And those individuals should be listened to. You should be able to make a point, and you should be able to talk to your county commissioner, and you ought to have a civil conversation to where, you know what, you get your point across, he listens, you get your point across. That's it. Debate is taught in many higher education facilities. Rockets debate is what formed this country. So whenever officials turn off that spout of answering people directly, whenever officials actually refer you to Freedom of Information Acts that they know will not move forward because of our county attorney or our district attorney. This is pure and simple hiding information from the public. We recently had, and I know I've done this before, but this is still bugging me. We recently had a commissioner get put on the spot. He was asked if he was the leak, if he leaked the resume, if he. How can it be considered a leak when it's public information? I don't know. How can a commissioner be called out, and also members of the audience who were members of the watchdogs who found this out and presented it to the government, presented it to them? They didn't get up and scream, holler, and show their ass. What they did was they went, "This is what we found. We did our research. We hope you will take it. We hope that you will take this and correct the problem." That's the way it was presented, which was in a nice, professional way. But our county judge, he got butthurt, and he went off quoting scripture and everything. Okay, I'll probably get this scripture wrong, and I do go to church, but those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw the first stone, I guess, or the stone. I believe it's the first stone. Sorry, I'm not. I need to go by the church. I know, but is that a threat? What could it be taken as a threat, or could it be telling these people to stand down because they threw the first stone, and they can expect rebuttal. They can expect their county government to take. I won't say that. Our county government to take action to shut them up. Now, we are the watchdogs. I don't want to say names because of this issue, because the fact is that I don't want to identify somebody who don't want to be identified or whatever, because they realize that after they have found this out, there's going to be possible repercussions from the county and from the cities, to where they're actually doing their research, asking questions, and coming up and putting professionals in the meetings to address these issues. In other words, they have an official there who sees through the bullshit. Now, that is how a democracy is supposed to work. I hate to say the word democracy, because we're a republic. We seem to forget that at some point in time in our life, and I don't know how we've done that. Somewhere along the line, politicians started calling us democracy, and we're not. But I don't know the implications of what's happening in Zavalla. I know that they're advertising for clerks, and I think they've already replaced the lieutenant who resigned, and they got a pro tem mayor. So that's as far as I know. However, the fact is that the fallout of this is it could be huge. It could move further up the line, because these people who resigned, they're going to come out and say what happened. Eventually, they're going to disclose the reason why they resigned. The reason why they didn't do so whenever they put in their resignation is because the fact is that may be a reason for them not to qualify for certain benefits that the county gives, or possible repercussions by the county. Because you don't want to, if you come out and you say this is what they're doing, they're coming after you. They're coming after you. And it's not a secret to anybody. And you rely on what your name is, how much money you invest in Angelina County, all these issues. This is where you do. If okay, put it this way. I'm sorry, I'm tongue tied tonight. If you are willing to go up against county officials or against the government, our local government, you can expect It's not a maybe. You could expect some kind of retribution to be taken out on either you or your family. I'm not saying it's going to happen 110% of the time. I'm just saying, look out, it's coming. Be something to be aware of. Because as soon as you open your mouth and you hurt their feelings, then they're going to go into payback mode. But an official doesn't have to go into playback mode. You know what? I made a decision. This is what I'm sticking by. And this is the reason why I did. Fair enough. If you don't like my decisions, if you don't like what I've explained to you, if you don't like this, then guess what? We get to vote, and you get to vote whoever you choose. But that's controlled on who gets run, who gets to run, what party they get to run from, and also how much money and contributions it goes into this campaign. It is becoming apparent to those who inquire. It is becoming apparent that there's somebody else running Huntington and Angelina County, besides the people that they besides the people we elect. How do we know this? Watch city council, watch a commissioners meeting. Every item, see how many in unison you can count, and I'll break it down for you. If they've got 20 items on the agenda, all 20 items will be unanimously passed or unanimously said no. And I've never seen anything. I have never seen nothing that they said no to. So if we have just one person who's making the decision, who's dictating to the commissioners what this agenda item is about, why do we need the other guys? Why do we need 4 commissioners? Why do we need 4 puppets who are going to agree with every damn thing that they? Why do we need that? I don't know. Now, many people come to me and say, well, we don't want change here. We don't want nothing to change here. We don't want to be like the big cities. And I understand that. I totally do. But we can't afford to get behind either. We can't afford not to invest in our infrastructure. We can't afford not to invest in our youth. We cannot afford to, because the fact is that we always, as individuals, as men and women, we always strive to do better. We can do better. We should be saying it. We can do better. And we should be able to come together and work together for the good of the county. Now, I'm going to say this real quick. If you are a commissioner for Precinct 1, you represent Precinct 1 that is inside Angelina County. You should be making this, and I'm not picking on the commissioner 1, I'm talking about all commissioners. But if you're a commissioner of whatever precinct, you should be listening to your constituents. You should be questioning, so you actually know how this is going to affect your constituents, not the whole county. This is why we got 4 commissioners. Each represent the 4 precincts. And the same thing that Precinct 1 wants to see happen may not be acceptable to those in Precinct 4. Because even though we're in a county and we have different types of individuals who live, some people who live in the city, they want to see city improvements. They want to see road improvements around, so we can actually access commerce and shop and eat and do those things. But people out in Hudson, they still deserve the same thing. And the people out in Hudson, they shouldn't have to belly up to the bar and kick in all their tax money that's going to pay for this. So where do we have that? Okay, well, let's make a drug deal. Okay, that's what. I'll vote yeah here, and if you vote yeah here, well, yeah. No brainer, man. It's politics. And as soon as politics gets in the way or hinders individuals' rights as a human being, we are promised life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And as soon as government gets in between any of those three items, then it's our duty to stand up. Now, I'm not saying many people go down to the commissioner's office and or our commissioner's meeting, and I'm not saying anything bad against anybody. What I'm trying to say is, here's what I've witnessed: is that in order for a person to appear before the commissioner's court, which is on a weekday at 10 o'clock, first of all, you're probably going to take off from work or something along that lines. So they make a big inconvenience for you to suit up and show up. But by the time you get your thing on the agenda, before you have to actually request to be on the agenda, and if it's something that's affecting the entire neighborhood or your entire precinct, it'll take they'll put it, well, it's precinct, that happens in precinct 1, we're not going to worry about that. Oh, that happens in precinct 3, we're not going to worry about that. So tell me where they're working for the entire county. I don't see it, because by working for the entire county, you stand up for your people that voted you in office. Bottom line. If commissioners and the county judge does not like your position, does not like the way you vote, who berate you in public for accusing you of leaking information that everybody can receive or should be able to receive, then what good are you? You are a representative of your precinct. You should stand up for your people, even if it means going against all of the other individuals, even because you get your vote in there and say, no, this is not going to help my constituents. This is not going to help us. So I vote no. Why do you vote no against something? Because the fact is, your people, your constituents, who you're just blanketly voting yes on and not questioning, they got to pay for it. They're paying for your decision, because you back down, and you back down from peer pressure, because you didn't want to look bad, because you're a commissioner. You don't want to look bad. You don't want nothing bad to be said about you. I don't know. An elected official should represent his constituents and bring his concerns, his ideas, his items to the table in the commissioner's court, and should stick behind what he says, and because of one reason: it doesn't help the constituents if you won't stand up and actually approach the judge. I believe, and I'm doing research on this, I believe that Judge Wright's his beratement of a county official, I believe his beratement of the watchdogs, I believe his beratement around anybody that gets up and talks about him if he doesn't agree with it, I think it's unethical. Also, the fact is that what we don't realize is that is you have signed up to speak, to bring up an issue. But no, you're confined to what they want you to talk about, or what they want to talk about in the meeting. You are allowed to speak only on one of those agendas. That's it. And if you are working class, or it doesn't matter. If you're not wearing a suit and tie when you get up there, you are cut off right at 3 minutes. But a person with a suit and tie who has a legal title, they will get up and speak as long as they want to. Tell me that's fair. And if you go over your 3 minutes, the sheriff will be there to escort you out of the building. They will send you the message that you interrupted a public meeting, whatever. They can throw the book at you. Why do they do that? To teach you a lesson, to get you to back down. We don't like what you're doing, so we're going to go behind. We're going to go and do this on the dirty side, and we're going to do this because we're going to put charges against you. What does that mean? They bring you up on charges. Well, here's the deal. You got to go hire a lawyer, which is going to cost you, just appear in court, $50,000. That's if you can find an attorney in Angelina County that'll take a case. Then you got to go to trial. You got to bring all that or whatever, or you can just set the plea deal, which they'll say, you know, well, you only owe 20, yeah, here's $25 or whatever. But that doesn't matter because the fact is that your name is already out there that you actually did this, and you haven't even stood trial for it. The Lufkin News will put you on the front page and describe what the commissioners tell them that you've done, even though there's videotape. And you will go to trial, and you will be found probably guilty. Because God forbid we have people that are asking questions. God forbid we have people questioning these individuals and wanting to see information to where they can make their own educated decision. God forbid the citizens start doing that. Now, I don't know about everybody else. And I am not just, I guess what I'm looking for to say is I'm just not a troublemaker that wants to trouble. No, I'm not. What I am is this, is that I'm a citizen of the United States of America where I fought to defend this country in 2 wars. I believe, and I have stood up for our Constitution. I have stood up to our Texas Constitution, and many others like me have done the same thing. We went and did a job to protect our nation and our citizens. That's what they sold us on. We relied on you to sit back here and actually take care of business while we were gone. We relied on you. We relied on you to actually police government, to actually make this town, make this county better, and keep it on. So we would have a goal. We would have a place to go to and retire. We would have a place to go and live. We would have a place where we wanted to purchase a home, where we wanted to actually start a family. All these things that we are entitled to. But what stands in the way of that is that our elected officials. They don't want to see progress for the average Joe, for the working man, for the working woman. They don't want to do that. What they want is for you to sit down, shut up, and be a good citizen. We're going to run this shit the way we want to run it. I'm sorry, guys, but there's laws against that. A politician's job is to find ways around the law. That's what they do. Your job as a citizen is to catch them when they're actually breaking the law and say, no, you can't do that. Right now, we don't have enough people saying, no, you can't do that. So anyway, that's my spiel for tonight. And I am going to, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but please go to the website, Angelina County Commissioners. Look that up, Google Angelina County Commissioners, and you can actually see the meetings as they're recorded. Now, check me. Go back and look at that video. I think it was two meetings ago. Check out that video when Judge Wright got butthurt and went off on fine, upstanding people who were just participating in their government, bringing attention to a mistake that they made. Luckily for the watchdogs, they did their civic duty. They looked at the situation, they analyzed the situation, they determined, they asked accountants, they asked people, was this right or whatever? They had 3, 4 sets of eyes looking at it to make sure they were saying the right thing. And they presented it in a nice professional way just to get berated. I take it personally because that's one of my this group is my fellow citizens. I take it personally whenever somebody treats somebody that way in public, especially in a meeting. And to berate another commissioner before in front of the camera and with all those people sitting there, yeah, yeah, they think that's right, and it's not. It's just not. You don't treat people that way. You don't talk down to people. You don't talk at people. You don't threaten people. You don't berate people over stupid things like, well, did you leak it? Hell no, he didn't leak it. He didn't leak any information. He even said so. I don't air the dirty laundry of the commissioner's office. I'm just saying, you know what, this is wrong. But to get berated for that just tells you the kind of commissioners that they want to have in that seat. So who is it? Who actually runs our county commissioners? Who is it? We don't know yet, but we're going to find out. We are going to keep digging until names pop up. You start seeing the same names over and over and over again. Check out land deals. Check out these deals where the government or our county has come in and said, well, no, it's a county road. No, it's not our road. When it comes down to fixing it, oh, it's your road. But as soon as they get ready to fix it, they'll fix it and, oh, it's our road now. Case in point, when I moved into Huntington, it took them 3 months to actually recognize my address. The property that I purchased, 1266 South Gibson Street. I purchased it. It's on my deed, it's on my title and everything. When they went to record the item, they recorded it. But it didn't appear to our post office. It didn't appear as far as county business, turning on my water, turning on electricity. Didn't exist there. But they didn't have an address on this place. And this place is dead. I think it was built back in 76. I don't really know, but the fact of the matter is this place has been here for a long time. And they don't even have the address. Before you dig around your property, I would highly suggest that you go down and try to find where the water lines are, where the sewer lines are, where all this is, because I'll guarantee you the information they give you is wrong. They don't know how many pipes they got going around here. They don't know how many sewer lines they got going around here, and they don't know where the cables are buried for our internet. So I don't mean just to get on here and put everybody down. I'm not. That's not me. What I am giving is a wake up call. So guys, we got to pay attention. It's come time to where we need to pay attention. We should have been paying attention 10, 20 years ago when our roads started decreasing in quality. As a matter of fact, Piney Woods used to deliver. They used to pick up twice a week here on my road here. They used to. They were told specifically that they could only operate and only pick up once a week because the damage it was doing to our roads. Never mind your trash backing up over here. Never mind you got to pay these people to come pick up your trash, but you got the city government who's telling them, you know what? No, you can't pick up trash. You're ruining our roads. I think that maybe should be considered in the budget, which they're preparing right now. And I think that maybe people should start paying attention to what that they're actually going to include in the budget, what they're actually, because the fact is that the budget that they produce, it's not the budget that you have at the end of the year. So they produce the budget just to have it produced to make it look good in front of the public, but what they actually do is totally different. And those issues need to be identified. If not identified, the questions need to be asked. Why did it appear in the budget? We didn't get it done, but why is the money gone? Simple. But that takes people to be involved and say, you know what? No, we've had enough of this. We have had enough of bullshit. Okay, tell us the truth. Tell me the truth where it hurts. Whether good, bad, ugly, it doesn't make a difference. But tell me the truth so that way I can actually help the county on the issues that we have major. We have major issues in each precinct, and they need to be addressed in a timely fashion. But tell me how that's happening when you only have 5 individuals making all the decisions and nobody else's input matters. So please tell me, basically on these issues that I brought up, that you don't see the same thing. I talked to people here and they said, man, it's never going to change. I talked to one guy, he said, man, I've been living here. I think he said 70 years. I don't know. I think he's 70 years, but he's been living here for 50 or whatever. He said, ain't nothing going to change. It's just going to stay the same. Yeah, it will. As long as we sit back and do nothing. I want to applaud Mr. Wayne Del Sofino for doing his research and sharing his research with the public. They hate that because they don't have any answers. He's got the documentation. He proves it right there. We should be paying attention. I totally support the watchdogs because the fact is they're doing the same thing, just on a different level. In other words, as a community, we're getting involved in our own, as a community, as a group, we are getting involved in our own community and the decisions that shape and form our future. Ask yourself this question. Would you want your kids to come back here and live? Would you want your kids to go to college or whatever, come home and actually have a good job, probably in Lufkin, and branch out? Go to the Hudson, go to Zavalla, go to whatever, to live your life and raise your kids. Ask yourself, would you want them to come back and suffer the same issues that you suffer from? I don't know. But I don't want that. If it was my kids, I would, as a parent, you want more. You want more for your kids than what you had. You want things a little bit easier than what you had. This is a part of it. This is a part of making a community where people want to return, where people want to live, where people want to stay. They can make a good living here. They can commute. But basically, they're in a community that cares about the people and shows it. Mr. Keith Rice said at one of the end of the meetings or whatever, it got caught on video. It did get caught on video. He just stood up and said, well, at the end of the meeting, you guys are just going to have to trust us on the road. You just going to have to trust us on the roads. We have been. Now, all of this is coming right now, and all these questions or whatever are being asked, because the fact is that we don't believe you anymore. We have documentation to show where you've lied. We have documentation to show where you have abused the power of your office, where you have abused and broken the law. And you knew it was illegal when you did it. There we go. Last thing before I go, the questions you should be asking now is that we voted, you as a community, as a county, we voted to have an engineer run our roads. We wanted to have an engineer to come in and make a plan, an engineering plan on when we repair our roads, how to make them viable, how to make all the drainage, all that. To this day, we have. To this day, we still have a road administrator. It's not what we voted for. It's not. So they just blatantly just, we passed a law and they don't like it, so they're not going to enforce it. This is the type of things that we're talking about here. These are the types of issues that we have. And everyone should be asking, yeah, why? Let me ask you a question. Or here's what I'm going to do. I am going to request information from the county on every publication that they have advertised for an engineer. The original application went out into some engineering magazine or whatever. And to this day, I still don't know if it's still being run or not. Are we still actively pursuing an engineer? Are we just forgetting about that because the fact is that, no, that might rock the boat. But let me tell you something that's right now. Mr. Walker received $150,000 because he filed a whistleblower complaint, because he said, these numbers that you're giving me do not make sense. Here's the correct numbers. They fired him for it. They fired him. I believe and I hope that he still has his case going against Terry Pitts. I still hope that he gets resolution on that. And for the $150,000, well, guess what? Because the county did not want this to come out and reach the public, they fired him. Why would they fire him? Because the fact is that he had the information, and he could bring it out in public. He could bring it out in public meetings. He could bring it out and say, this is why we're not doing this. This is he could get up and speak and say these things, but he was not allowed to. And by firing him, that puts a red flag on his head that he's a troublemaker. He's not willing to play ball. He's not willing to lie for us, basically. So, Lufkin Daily News runs it. They fired him, blah, blah, blah. That's all the county sees. Finally, KETK, they reported it as soon as it was disclosed. Keith Rice says he couldn't disclose the amount that was given to Mr. Walker. Well, guess what? KETX, they found out and they published it. So did KTRE. Lufkin Daily News sporadically reported it. And it's happening in their county. Okay. If you control information, and you control information that you release to the public, if you provide propaganda inside of your meetings, and you don't recognize your citizens, and you do not recognize the laws that are passed by those citizens, that's a dictatorship. It's not a democracy. That means first round Hall of Fame right there. That's freaking that's not a democracy. And as we have found out, that once our democracy has been taken away, we can't get it back. Once this process that they utilize in our county government continues forward, we are less and less and less listened to. We are We are the peons, and they make all the decisions. I don't know about you. I don't like being talked down to. I don't like being treated like a peon. I don't like people telling me to sit down and shut up. I don't like them treating me as if I'm a second class citizen, because I guarantee you there's some good people in Angelina County. I don't care what name you have. I don't care who you come from, whatever. I don't judge you based on your past, your father's past, or whatever. I give everybody, and it's forgive those who trespass against us and lead us not into evil. Protect us. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. But also, we have turned our cheeks one too many times. Part of being a Christian is also looking out for your neighbor. Part of being a Christian is actually doing for others before doing for others. Be generous. Do that with your time. Look at it from this standpoint. You are creating a better society for your community to live in. You are repelling corruption. You are doing your job as the oversight committee. And you have a right to talk at every meeting. And you have a right to say that they allot time for you to speak. Use your 3 minutes. If they don't, guess what? Some people call it, I can't remember the term or whatever, but it's when a congressman gets up there and he speaks and he talks for hours, like Ted Cruz did, read Dr. Seuss, you know. And maybe we should do that. Maybe I should get up and talk for 2 minutes, and I pass my time over to another person. Oh, okay, I'll pass my time to this individual. That's why you can't do that. Why not? Why not? Because you'll lose control of the meeting. You're damn right you will. Because the fact is that you will be called out on every item of bullshit, and there'll be a line standing there. I have talked to many people when I go to the commissioners meeting, when I talk whatever. I see so many people leave out of there pissed off because the fact is that not just the fact of the issue, but because the commissioners will not listen to you. And if you don't believe me, just watching the commission. Hell, a monkey can do that. We should hire a monkey, put him in the commissioner's office, and just teach him 2 words. Aye, nay. If he says aye, you give him a banana. If he says nay, you don't give him shit. Pretty soon that monkey will figure out I don't need to say no more. I just need to sit down, shut up, and get my banana. There we go. You guys be good. Be careful. I'm going to fix my boat. I'm going to be out there on the lake. I got to find me a new plug. Anyway, you guys be good. Be careful. Thank you for listening. Please like and share with other people who you may not agree with me, and I understand. I totally understand. But the fact of the matter is that share it so people can hear it, and people can actually look at their own lives and see the decisions that our elected officials have made and see if they hold water. Community needs to have a communication link between itself, to ask questions of each other. So, well, this is the way I see it, whatever. What do you see? What? Well, we need to bring that to commissioner. Good luck doing that here in Angelina County. You can't find them half the time. You call the office. No, they're at the county barn. You call the county barn. No, they're at the. Okay. If you get them all in one place at the meeting, wait. Just by the time you walk out that door, they're gone. They're gone. Mr. Kennedy even had an escort of sheriffs to take him out of there because he was afraid people were going to dread, not because he's afraid for his life, but because afraid he was going to have people ask him questions. That says enough. You guys be good. God bless you. Keep powder dry. I'm out.